Okay, good evening. Let's declare the meeting in order.
Evening is better than the morning.
It is nice and beautiful and sunny out now. It was terrible this morning. So before we begin, of course, Deputy Mayor, would you do us the honor of reading our land acknowledgement, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We respectfully acknowledge the city of Corner Brook as the ancestral homeland of different populations of Indigenous people. We also acknowledge with respect the rich histories and cultures of the Beothuk, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Thank you very much. Would someone like to move the approval of the agenda, please?
So, Mr. Mayor, can I just add one item?
Yes.
One quick item. Could we get I know we're not through this yet.
Yep.
A quick update on the spring cleanup around the city, just an update.
Can do.
Just some commentary on that.
Absolutely. So we'll put that in the, how about we do that when we get to the business arising? If there's, we'll do it just after that, okay? Perfect. Okay, with that, would someone like to move the
So
agenda?
moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. A seconder on that?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. We have approval of minutes from our regular meeting on April 14th. Would someone like to move the approval of the minutes?
So moved.
Thank you. A seconder on that?
I'll second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. And we have a few decisions from previous council and committee meetings. Councillor Granter, would you walk us through those, please?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. In accordance with Section 41(3) of the City of Corner Brook Act, where a decision is made by the councillors at a privileged meeting, the decision, in order to be valid, shall be ratified at a public meeting of council. The following minutes are being brought forward for ratification. Council and committee meeting, December 11, 2023, CC 23-023, approval of agenda. It is resolved to approve the agenda as circulated. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Seconder on that?
Second that one.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
CC 23-025, naming of the new recreation center. It is resolved to approve the naming of the new recreation center be named after the late Marina Redmond. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. A seconder on that?
I'll
Seconder? Yeah? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
Council and committee meeting, August the 5th, 2024, CC 24-034, 2026 Newfoundland Games. It is resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook approved the request of Sport NL for the 2026 Newfoundland Games hosted in Corner Brook to be a summer games. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Seconder on that?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
Council and committee meeting, September the 9th, 2024, CC 24-035, approval of agenda. It is resolved to approve the agenda as circulated. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
second it, sir.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
CC 24-036, conflict of interest. It is resolved that Councillor Pamela Gill is not in a conflict of interest with regard to this item. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Seconder on that?
Second that one.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
CC 24-038, recreation pricing structure. It is resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook approve the recreation pricing structure as presented. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second it, Mr. Mayor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
Council and committee meeting, April the 28th, 2025. CC 25-001, approval of agenda. It is resolved to approve the agenda as circulated. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Seconder?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
CC 25-003, 88 Clarence Street, proposed apartment building. It is resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook, in its authority, approve the application for the proposed apartment building at 88 Clarence Street, Corner Brook, Newfoundland. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. All the, seconder?
I'll second it, sir.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Thank you very much. So yes, so you can see like these items were done in a CC meeting, but now I guess they've passed their, you know, we couldn't tell that we were getting the summer games, for example, so we have to pass that in a private meeting. But now, of course, cat's out of the bag. Next summer games.
So that, I guess, Mr. Mayor, that's why, like, December the 11th, 2023, that we had the naming of the Marina Redmond Center. So it wasn't until the Marina Center was open, that we could actually ratify the meeting? Ratify the minute?
We wanted to keep it secret until we actually made the
Okay,
announcement.
okay. So I was just wondering.
The only one that wasn't like that was the most recent, the last one there about the, there was a development approval for discretionary use apartment building at Clarence Street, former Humber United building.
Yeah, and that was just recently.
Yeah, that was recently, and it was a timing issue. We wanted to make sure we didn't hold up any business in the city. So, okay. Any business arising from the public minutes? Anything there? Okay, but we wanted to get an update. Aaron O'Brien is joining us today, our manager of engineering. So tell us what's going on with bulk cleanup.
Sure. So through you, Mr. Mayor, to date, we've had 1,300 appointments booked by residents. Currently, we finished off the curling area last week. A little slow getting started this week because of the lovely weather this morning, but we will be back out starting round 2 tomorrow. And the other great little bit of news is obviously we're offering the drop-off to the landfill this year. To date, we've had 1,176 people, landfill people dropping things off, so very well used.
Okay, thanks very much. Questions?
Yeah, one question, Mr. Mayor. The cards that were delivered to the mailboxes, was because 2 weeks before that, in my property, I received 2 cards from political candidates that were running in the federal election that were late arriving in my mailbox. So I'm wondering if was that a combination of being late dropped off to the Canada Post, or if it was a Canada Post issue, having them on time and not getting them out to residents on time. Because if it's a Canada Post issue, it's an issue that we have as a city, in the sense of they're late getting their mail out, and it could be a flyer, or it could be a senior's check, or whatever it might be. So I was just wondering if it was a combination of us late getting them there, or the political candidates late getting the Canada Post, or Canada Post just late getting them out on their routes.
Can't speak, of course, for the candidates, though late last week, on the west side at least, most residents received the flyer for garbage and a Liberal a campaign flyer. Now ours, as I understand, talking to our communications officer, they were delivered in plenty of time for the usual
Delivery.
yeah, so I'm not sure what the issue was there, but yeah, I'm hearing a lot of concerns about.
Well, Mr. Mayor, it's for even private business in the city or political candidates. It's not cheap to do up a flyer, and if you do up a flyer, you want to make sure that it gets to the residents on time, and you choose a service to get it to the residents on time before a deadline, before an election, or before a deadline for clean up or pick up of material. So obviously, it's on the public record that there may be some concerns with regard to the delivery of materials to residents in Corner Brook. So I guess internally, I guess they'll have a look at it.
Yeah, and I guess to follow that up, we have had in the past when we've had people bring concerns about delivery interruptions, especially in winter. We had some discussions with Canada Post to they want to resolve any problems we may have from a snow clearing perspective and those kind of things.
Yep.
So in fact, one of the regional managers is following up for a meeting on Wednesday. So just coincidentally, this happened last week. So,
Yes, okay.
So I'll raise some of these questions as well, because I also received, I think it was 3 of the candidates' materials the day after
Right, exactly.
the election, right?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Are we going, because you cut off to book an appointment for someone, I think it was May the 6th. I never got out mine until May the 8th or 2 or 3 days after. So are we going to accommodate them, the people who
Yeah.
couldn't make the phone call before May the 6th?
Mr. O'Brien, what should people do?
Sure. So essentially, we definitely recognize that. The nice thing about it being a in-city service this year is we do have some flexibility. So any resident who missed that deadline, give the customer service line a call, and we'll get you taken care of.
Perfect.
637-1666, yeah. Yep.
Say, question now about the leaves. That was a big one that came up. A lot of phone calls, a lot of discussion in the mall and wherever we went. That we weren't picking up the leaves had to be delivered to a certain spot out on the highway. A lot of people didn't have any way to get them there, and they couldn't drop them off at at the dump at Walco, so.
Yeah. Don't dump them, but don't bring them to the dump. That's the first thing.
Don't bring them over
So
there.
apparently, they shouldn't go to Wildco, right?
No, they're
Mr.
not going
Ryan?
to Walco.
Yeah, that's a problem. We are putting out, what time is it, Mr. O'Brien, for leaves?
Yeah, correct. So again, it is a new program this year, so there are some learning curves. So we recognize that. So essentially, residents, like you said, Thursdays, the third pond access road will be open for the rest of this month. Additionally, if there are issues getting there, same thing with the flexibility of doing it in the house, give us a call, we'll get you taken care of.
Yeah.
And I was advised that when they do call, they have to go on the leaf collection list. There's 2 lists.
Yes.
One for garbage, one for,
That's right.
or one for household waste, one for our leaves. So ask to be put on the leaf list,
Yes.
because if you don't, then you could end up leaving your leaves there again.
And the issue is, I guess, they go to different places.
Correct.
So when we pick them up, with the regular bulk, some goes to Meadow, some goes to Wild Cove. In this case, there'll be a third pickup specifically for leaves and yard waste that can be composted, debagged.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I guess overall, how is it,
Yeah.
maybe Mr. O'Brien can tell us, like, are we hearing good things? Because I'm hearing mixed emotions on it, right?
Yeah, Mr. O'Brien, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Again, I think with anything new, there's going to be growing pains, but overall, the amount of work that our public works staff has accomplished has been huge. If you drive around currently, we've done a great job of getting that all cleaned up. And again, it's the flexibility of if there are places that are missed, if people miss the deadline, we can help out there. So very confident that it's going to be a great job done this year. And like anything, open to feedback, and we can only do better, right?
Yeah. Yep, go ahead.
Just a comment, I've noticed too that residents have taken it upon themselves to clean up ditches around the city and taken them and you pass by and there's probably 8 or 10 clear garbage bags. I would assume that they should call in as well and let us know that they're there, or is the onus on us to see it, report it, and get it picked up?
Mr. O'Brien, now I know in the past we had programs where if you did do a cleanup, say, and you put a bag somewhere, to call 637-1666. I'm assuming that whenever something like that would still be the case. Is that true?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that is correct. There are actually several groups right now doing a few cleanups for us. Our sustainability coordinator, she is coordinating things. More than happy to help out people who want to clean up the city. Give us a call.
I think
but it
it's,
is hard to know
Absolutely,
just
yeah.
automatically
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Because some things people put out aren't trash.
yeah. No, and that's, Mr. Mayor, that's why I brought it up, because I wouldn't want for, like, some people do, like, family outings and stuff like that, to take them on themselves to do something to teach their children,
Absolutely.
right? And then go back 3 or 4 days later and the bag's still outside the road,
Yeah.
right?
It's hard. So yeah, so bear with us. I think though you're right, Mr. O'Brien. From what I've seen down in Curling, the end product is excellent. It's they look clean properties. It hasn't taken weeks
Yeah.
down there. It's because I know in the past we've had garbage on, for months, and then once it's missed, then it doesn't circle back. So we have again a bit more flexibility to deal with that this year. So we want to make sure that anyone who can't get to Wild Cove. And again, great prize incentive in that. I see the winner announced on Facebook and that as well. Yeah, it's much more convenient if you have that ability. So.
Mr. Mayor, it might be worthwhile just to repeat the number, 637 16
1666, yep.
Just a final comment on that,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, if I may. I'd just like to compliment staff, whoever came up with this, because I'm like nothing. You're not going to get 100% approval on anything, but the majority of the residents that I speak to, they say, now at least I have an option.
Yeah.
And like we're not. We can come up with however way we want to do it, if I have a vehicle or if I don't, and that I'm getting some good vibes from it, which I think is great. But like I said, you're not going to get 100%. But I just like to compliment staff. I think what you came up with was pretty close to top shelf.
Big challenge, of course, to mention communication earlier. Getting the word out is very difficult, and especially, again, count on mail. to reach those who don't get social media, of course. So when that's late, and you can't, it's like the deputy said, past your appointment, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, that's the challenge we need to overcome. It's difficult to communicate new ways of doing things sometimes. There we go. Okay, proclamations and events. We have a few things to declare. We declared April Parkinson's Awareness Month, and over 1,500 families in Newfoundland and Labrador live with Parkinson's disease. Through research, education, advocacy, and support services, the Parkinson's Society endeavors to ease the burden for all those affected. May 4th to 10th was Municipal Awareness Week. We did, of course, we had tours going on the treatment plant, City Hall. We had hundreds of elementary school kids up at the Civic Center to learn about the city services and events with the public as well. Last Friday, with our barbecue and our equipment, some really neat things. And I'm talking to a lot of the staff. The theme seems to be we do things a lot more, they're a lot more technical than they were a few years ago. So we utilize a lot more technology, like our water and sewer team uses a lot more technology than they did even 10 years ago. So it's pretty neat stuff. I want to shout out to Gloria Manning as well for the work that she put in on this, and to our staff. They represented well, and we learned a lot. So thank you for that.
It was a great morning, Mr. Mayor, just to see how happy I guess the students were happy because they didn't have to go to school, but they were very happy to get into the equipment.
Absolutely.
It was beautiful.
Who wouldn't want to get in a fire truck when they're 10 years old?
Digger.
Right? We also declared May Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome and Hypermobility Spectrum Disorder Awareness Month. That's a group of disorders that affect the human body's connective tissues, including skin, joints, blood vessels, digestive system, and other organs and tissues. May 4th to 10th was declared Heart Failure Awareness Week. And there are nearly 800,000 people in Canada living with heart failure. So this week is marked across Canada to raise awareness for the cause of heart failure and the impact it has on individuals living with heart failure and their caregivers. And May was declared Melanoma Skin Cancer Awareness Month. Skin cancer is the most common of all cancers, and 1 in 6 Canadians born in the 1990s, and some older than that like me, will get skin cancer in their lifetimes. So it's imperative that communities across Canada remind the importance of sun safety and to get that mole checked. Very important. And this morning, it was my pleasure to declare National Nursing Week. So it was an opportunity to recognize the contributions of nurses who work tirelessly across all healthcare sectors, including on the front lines in hospitals, long-term care homes, primary care, and those working in public health, community sector, education, and research. And I'll say a preemptive congratulations to the nursing school graduates who will have their graduation this Thursday. So look forward to seeing them. Okay, so let's get on to some tenders. Deputy Mayor, we have our mowing contract with the soccer club.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This contract has been renewed annually to improve efficient mowing and maintenance of the grass of the soccer fields within the city. The agreement is therefore being brought forward to council for approval for the 2025 season. The proposed resolution, be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook enter into a formal agreement for the 2025 soccer season with the Corner Brook United Soccer Club to supply mowing services for the Ambrose O'Reilly Monarch Complex and the George Daddy Da soccer fields at the cost of $11,000. HST is included. That I so moved.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one? Yes?
Compared to last year, I went down through to see if I could actually find if we were paying the same amount or has that increased, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, Mr. Robinson.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, this is the same amount as we have done in past years.
Excellent.
Good. Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counter-minded? Carried. Perfect. And Jubilee Field Maintenance, the baseball team.
Into the sports tonight,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Baseball Association Lease 2025. This lease agreement has been renewed annually for the Corner Brook Baseball Association. to provide efficient maintenance services to Jubilee Field for the outdoor baseball season. The proposed resolution be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook enter into a formal agreement for the calendar year 2025 with the Corner Brook Baseball Association to supply maintenance services to Jubilee Field for the amount of $31,200, and the HST is included in that. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one?
I have one.
Yes, go ahead.
Just an observation, I'm just, where we have one baseball field that's $31,000 and we have 3 or 4 soccer fields that's 11 for maintenance.
Yeah, and Mr. Roberts, you tell us, I guess, what's involved with the maintenance for these different facilities?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, the maintenance on the soccer fields, that previous contract is simply just grass mowing. That's all they do is
Okay,
grass
so
mowing.
it's not
Where with the
maintenance.
baseball, it's much more meticulous work because of the caliber of field that they maintain
Okay,
there, and that's
yeah.
why it's more.
Okay, so not really I'm sorry. It's
Yeah.
not really maintenance, it's, yeah. Okay, that's fine, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
Is that one the same amount as what we had last year, I wonder? Is
Mr.
it
Robertson?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, that one's the same as well.
Same thing.
There you go. Perfect. Okay, any other questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Reminded, carried. And, Councilor Grantor, we have another service agreement, this time with PSAP.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City of Corner Brook has been operating the Public Service Answering Point PSAP since 2015 and has entered into 5-year term agreements with NL 911 and the province of Newfoundland and Labrador to provide 911 call answering and transfer services. Our latest agreement expired in January 2025. City staff and provincial staff have rigorously reviewed the current agreement and put forward the attached contractual agreement that will extend and govern our PSAP service operations for the next 5 years. Be it resolved, Mr. Mayor, that the Council approve the 2025 Public Service Answering Point Service Agreement as presented, thereby extending the PSAP operations for another 5 years. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second that one.
Thank you. Questions on this one? Okay, so, again, for those who don't know, downstairs at City Hall is where, and Mr. Flynn, what geographic area do we cover here at City Hall?
We actually cover from Maine in Labrador right out to the Salmonair line on the Avalon. It's divided based on population, and as you know, the Northeast Avalon has half our province's population. So,
Mr. Mayor,
Thank you.
on Saturday, I was driving across the province and we came upon a grass fire off TCA. Pulled up the road, called 911, got a guy downstairs
Yeah,
to report the incident.
yeah, it's
Very quickly. And I was told the firefighters were on the way.
excellent. Good. No, that's good. Any other questions on this contract? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. Okay, and Councilor Gregor, the Welling Street Complex lease agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This contract has been renewed annually to provide efficient maintenance to the Wellington Street complex during the outdoor sporting season. Be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook enter into a formal agreement during the calendar year for 2025 with the Corner Brook United Soccer Club to supply maintenance services to the Wellington Street complex for the amount of $30,050.40. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
I'll second it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank
please.
you. Questions on this one? Questions there? No? Pretty straightforward?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. Okay, you have to apologize, this meeting, there's a lot of the annual contracts and things. It's very much business as usual if you're watching at home. So we're used to seeing this now for quite a number of years. And the only thing that changes sometimes, and apparently not even sometimes, is the price. So, Deputy Mayor, another thing we do every year, but the prices do change, standing offer for hired equipment.
Hard equipment list. Quotations were recently, oh, sorry, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Quotations were recently invited to the City of Corner Brook for the supply of equipment with operator on demand for a period of 7 months, May the 22nd to December 21st, 2025. Hourly rates were requested with various attachments for rubber tire backhoes with or without attachments, tandem trucks, excavators, mini excavators with or without attachment, tractors, dozers, graders, side stir, sidewalk sweepers, and boom trucks. The tender closed April 30th, 2025, and all compliant quotations were indicated in the attached document. Be it resolved to accept the price list for the hired equipment as proposed, and we were given a list here, Mr. Mayor, we
Yes.
don't need to read that, all that.
No, you don't need to read all that.
Or the meeting will be a lot more.
That's okay. Okay, perfect, thank you. Seconder on that? You second that, perfect, thank
Yep.
you. Questions on this one?
And Mr. Mayor, by the look of it, most things stayed the same, or just about, with a few increases, I think, was it?
Mr. O'Brien, you've done thorough analysis. I know you're filling in for Mr. Burden tonight, but, so we're going to put you on the spot. How's it look?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I might have expected this one. A lot of stuff actually stayed very, very similar. We had a few around 5%, but generally pretty consistent to last year.
I did check back to see what some of it was for last year, so, good job.
Perfect. Okay, any other questions? Pretty straightforward. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. Okay. And Deputy Mayor, continuing on, we have plumbing services maintenance for buildings for 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tender form. The City of Corner Brook requested bids for the plumbing services and maintenance of city buildings on a standing offer basis. This is a 2-year contract from June 1st, 2025 to May 31st, 2027, and generally consists of the maintenance/services of various municipal structures on an as-required basis. Tenders for the plumbing services maintenance billing for 2025-11 closed on May 6, 2025, with the one bid received from R&R HVAC and controls with the price of $27,370 HSTs included net per year at an estimated 200 hours per year at $85 per hour. So the proposed resolution, be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook award the tender to R&R HVAC and controls for the tender price of $27,370 HST included for the plumbing maintenance services for buildings 2025-11. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one?
And Mr. Mayor, the
Yes.
proposed resolution doesn't say that it's for each year, but it is $27,370 for each year, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Is it,
That's what I
Mr.
read
O'Brien?
on top, wasn't it?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, quick math was just, yeah, that's the case, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, perfect. And you did say that this is an increase, so 21% over last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some things do go up. Okay, did we get a seconder there? Any questions? Other questions?
No.
No? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Contraminded? Carried. And also, Deputy Mayor, we have our asphalt patching contract. That time of year.
Good time of the year, Mr. Mayor. Tender form, Corner Brook patching. City of Corner Brook requested bids for the asphalt patching in various areas of the city. The tender closed on May 6, 2025, and one bid was received from Marine Contractors, Inc., with the price of $479,895, HSTs included in that. The price is based on $128 per square meter of asphalt pavement. Proposed resolution, be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council award contract number 2025-10 asphalt patching to Marine Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $479,895, HST included. I so move.
Thank you very much. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions here?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Just a quick question. So this patching, the areas of the city have already been identified and marine contractors would now know the areas of the city. So this would be separate from cutouts that we'll see throughout the city over the summer and those. That's a separate contract altogether?
So this will do sort of known potholes, water cuts, things like that, the smaller parts. Then we do we'll identify major sections of streets and things that we'll let in another
So for this particular tender, the sections or the potholes and cutouts have already been identified.
Yeah, I would say, Mr. O'Brien, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. So essentially, the main intent for this, a few potholes, but a lot of water and sewer cuts. So yes, they have been identified. The contract this year is two approaches. So the first round will happen very, very soon. And then we'll identify another round come this fall, which again, any cuts, any potholes that developed over the summer will be addressed again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any other questions? Yeah, we've used this approach now for a couple of years, and it seems to work a little better to make sure we get timely, and we also are able to get those ones at the end of the year. Inevitably, when you do new paving, you got to cut it up for some reason. Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. Okay, and Councillor Granter, we have a amendment to Deep Gulch Culvert Replacement.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. The Deep Gulch Culvert project has exceeded its scheduled completion date of November the 8th, 2024. As such, this PCA amendment is necessary to provide additional contract administration and resident services for the consultant to account for the extended contract timeline. Costs resulting from this amendment will be recovered from the contractor as part of the construction contract. Be it resolved, Mr. Mayor, that the City of Corner Brook Council approve the PCA Amendment Number 3 for RV Anderson Associates Limited in the amount of $214,169.68, HST included, for the Deep Gulch Brook Culvert project. So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. A second on that.
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Questions on this one? So this is an in and out. So this is one where the engineering supervisor needs more time, and the contractor will be on the hook to pay.
Yeah, one question, Mr. Mayor. So we know it's beyond its completion date, as I just said, in November of 2024. Do we know roughly when that project will be completed in this construction season?
Yep.
It's a part of the main thoroughfare. Isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm sure residents will be interested to know.
This is a tricky one.
Yes,
You're
it is.
absolutely right. Mr. O'Brien, you got any information for us on that?
Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor. So essentially, the hope would be that we're into July and August for completion of this. However, our intent is some of the main thoroughfares there will not be permanently affected that long.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Minded? Carried. Okay, Councilor Griffin, we've got I guess this is an amendment to our multi-year capital works agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City of Corner Brook and Department of Transportation and Infrastructure have agreed to amend the current funding agreement for 2023 to 2026 multi-year capital works to reflect the revised amounts for the listed projects. In 2023, the City and Department of Transportation and Infrastructure agreed upon projects and expected costs to be included in the 2023-2026 MICW funding agreement. Since that time, many of the projects have been completed, and the actual costs in some cases are different than the amounts originally anticipated. In order to fully utilize the funding and to receive maximum funding on the MICW projects, a reallocation of the funds by the project is required. As a result of this reallocation, there is no change, in the total amount of funding from transportation and infrastructure, the amount of funding required from the city or the projects to be funded. The only change is the amount of funding allocated to the specified project. Excuse me. Be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook accept cost-sharing funding as outlined in the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Project Approval Letter dated April 15th, 2025 for the multi-year capital works 3-year allocation 2023-2026 Schedule A amendment. Total project cost $9,190,782 with the ultimate recipient share value of $3,787,235 in funding for this project. Be it further resolved to authorize the mayor and city manager to sign a municipal infrastructure fund agreement with the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure on behalf of the city of Corner Brook. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Questions on this one? This is a largely a housekeeping measure that happens, I think, fairly regularly as project costs change, so we can get all the money we can from the project. Okay, so if there are no questions, I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Okay. Now, we have a few policy and regulation changes. Councillor Griffin, the first one is a new sidewalk policy.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. This policy shall provide the City of Corner Brook with a standard process to manage public requests for sidewalk installation, to ensure that a transparent approach and objective criteria are used to evaluate sidewalk installation needs throughout the city. The policy outlines the process for the initiation, assessment, development, and implementation of sidewalk installation on city streets. Be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council adopt the sidewalk policy as presented. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Questions on this one? So this is all part, I guess, of the transportation study work that's going on throughout. We just want to codify, I guess, how we make these decisions and, how we determine which streets require sidewalks, when we do repairs or upgrades, to add sidewalks, that sort of thing. Okay?
So,
Yes,
to
go
be
ahead.
clear, Mr. Mayor, so we'll just set out like a criteria. If you meet it, you'll get the sidewalk?
Yeah, and again, Mr. O'Brien, maybe you could explain to us how those things are determined.
Sure, through you, Mr. Mayor. So essentially, it's based on a couple of different criteria. One being the road classification, so whether it's a collector, an arterial, or local road. That determines, sidewalks on both sides, sidewalks on one side. And the other thing is the average vehicle traffic flow, so how many vehicles flow through there per day. So it just gives an opportunity that, if there is a major project going on a road, it automatically allows us to look at, okay, are we going to do a sidewalk here? It just helps make that decision more objective.
Any other questions? Yeah.
But it still will come down to money.
Oh, yeah, and but also it talks about when we would do an upgrade if there was one required. So obviously, we just can't dig up roads for no reason.
Right.
But if we were doing a major repair on a road that in the policy required a sidewalk, then we would do
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. And likewise, we have a crosswalk policy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This policy shall provide the City of Corner Brook with a standard process to manage public requests for crosswalk installation needs throughout the city. The policy outlines the process for the initiation, assessment, development, and implementation of crosswalk installation on city streets. The existing crosswalk policy is outdated and in need of updates that establishes clear guidelines and processes. Be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council rescind the current crosswalk policy and replace with the attached crosswalk policy. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second that one.
Thank you very much. Questions on this one? Yes, go ahead.
I guess I'd like to know what does this mean for, I guess, the public who feels that there should be a crosswalk in a certain area for safety, especially going to, say, a bus stop or crossing a street with small children and students, just wondering what the process now would be if they want to get something to make it more safe.
Yep. Good. Mr. O'Brien?
Sure, through you, Mr. Mayor. So similar to our traffic calming policy that we put out last year, it's a way to essentially the resident would engage our traffic individual in the engineering department. They review the area. Again, we set up traffic counters to understand how much traffic is going through there, the average speeds, things like that. And at that stage, based on the ranking, it would either warrant a crosswalk and tell you what type of crosswalk, whether it be a rapid flasher, just painting markings, all that. It's just a way, again, to be transparent about the process that's followed. So any issues with that, again, we encourage residents to reach out. It'll be documented and we'll follow the process to ensure it's looked after.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I'm looking at the different types of markings for pavement for crosswalks, and actually, when I just read this evening, it came up, a motorcyclist had asked me a question about crosswalks here in the city, and I guess other places, and I never understood exactly what he was saying until I see these markings here. And so if we have a crosswalk that has full paint right across, the motorcyclist was telling me they don't have an opportunity to ride their bike between, say, one white and the other white and just ride between the pavement. And he says if it's painted right fully across, it becomes slippery on times for motorcyclists. I don't drive a motorcycle, so I don't know. And you may have, I don't know if we do have sidewalks in the city that are painted fully across as opposed to what we see are like the zebra cross or the ladder crosswalk, those kinds of things. So that was just something that a motorcyclist had brought up to me a few months ago, and seeing this evening, it just brought back his point of view.
Yeah. Okay. And I think part of this too was to inventory what we have existing currently. So that is a part of the whole process to look at that. So that was a good point. But there are sort of standard markings, and yeah, I've noticed that myself wearing summer shoes, walking across a parking lot. Sometimes you'll step on a line and it can get quite greasy. So I can only imagine a vehicle going over the same thing could feel the same way. Okay, any other questions on this? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counter-minded? Carried. And, Councilor Griffin, recreational vehicle regulations.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Corner Brook Bay of Islands Yacht Club has requested that the ATV community be able to access their facilities. The Corner Brook Bay of Islands Yacht Club is a nonprofit organization that includes full-service laundry, washrooms, showers, and a members' lounge, and a 70-boat capacity that operates from May to October. This is a prime location for ATV riders and tourists to stop and enjoy their facilities. This amendment to Schedule A will connect the current designated route of Petrie Street to Pikes Avenue and Connors Road to Bartlett's Avenue, enabling access to the Bay of Islands Yacht Club. The city conducted public consultations on this matter and received no comments. The proposed resolution, Mr. Mayor, be it resolved that pursuant to the powers vested in it by virtue of Section 201 and 202 of the City of Corner Brook Act 1990 and Section 15 of the Off-Road Vehicles Act 2021 and all others enabling powers, the Council of the City of Corner Brook hereby repeals the current Recreational Vehicles Regulation 2022 and replaces it with the Recreation Vehicles Regulations as attached hereto. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions? No, I think this sounds like a great idea and a great amenity. The yacht club is a wonderful spot to visit, so yeah. Okay, if no questions, let's vote on it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counter-minded? Carried. Well, that's it. So the only thing left to do is say good luck to Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow night. Because they need all the help they can get. And other than that.
Mr. Mayor, before you do?
Yes.
Oh, I just want to bring this up if I can.
Yeah.
With all the fires going around in the province, I'd just like to remind the public that, like, make sure if you're going to do anything with that you put some thought into it, have a garden hose ready, whatever, because all your big fires start small.
And remember, provincial-wide fire ban is on now, right? Is that right, Mr. Flynn? Are we already into the, used to start in June. But,
June 1st.
But is it started now already?
I don't think, I don't know the answer to that.
I noticed
Mr.
that we
Mayor.
have a regulation that there's no open fires from June 1st to
I thought
August
it
31st.
started early, but.
Yeah, I
maybe I'm
think the
mistaken.
province does start earlier than we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is spring.
Anyway, no, my point was to, you know, like, it can get out of hand in a hurry, and we're seeing it.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Out east, that was brutal.
Yeah, yes,
It's a
absolutely.
good reminder of May 24th coming up next weekend.
Yes,
too, so.
yep, yep.
Perfect. Well, okay, with that, meeting adjourned.